we're starting up right now. All right, welcome everybody. This is BlastCast with my friend Al Plancher here. Al, why don't you tell everybody what you do and your little background?
Yeah, I'm a writer director,
All
living in
right.
LA, and a little background about myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yep.
first of all, I'm Haitian. I grew up in Haiti,
Mm-hmm.
um, and yeah, this is something I always wanted to do since I was a kid. I didn't know how or what exactly at the time too. I just knew I wanted to be in film.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I didn't know anything about positions and stuff like that, but um, something that I knew that once I got out of college I was going to pursue. So here I am.
All right. Yeah. So me and Al, we worked on a film. When was it? It was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, right?
Longer than that, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a while. Yeah.
yeah. That's 2016. Yeah, you did the score, and actually I listened to it when you reached out to me
Uh huh.
while doing the podcast. I was like, oh yeah, we did release it on
Yeah.
Shameless Plug. It's on all
Uh,
streaming services.
yep. Yep. It's
Uh,
everywhere.
where
Go
Remnants
look it up. Yeah.
and uh, and that was pretty cool because I went back. I haven't listened to it in a while, and I went back and I was like, oh man, yeah, this was really good, and yeah, I was super satisfied with the theme that you came up with.
Yeah. I know. I haven't listened to it in a while, to be honest. Yeah. I know. I'm like one of those people that like once I'm finished with something, I kind of like let it be, and I don't know what it is. It's like I feel weird listening to something like old. I don't know why.
I mean, think
Uh,
about it. I mean, how many rock bands listen to their own music? You know what I'm saying? Like the
yeah.
artists that usually. I mean, I have to read my stuff obviously all
Yeah.
the time,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't sit there and watch my movies or
Yeah,
uh,
because it's like you've seen him so many times in the edit. I feel like it's like you kind of get a little tired of him, right? Like
yeah,
in a way. I
yeah,
mean, obviously we still like love our art. I mean, I like the music that I write, but I don't know. I guess like if you work on something for weeks and weeks and weeks, it gets a little repetitive in your head. You just want to kind of like just like put it on a shelf
yeah,
and just like
facts, yeah.
graduate. Yeah. So what have you been up to lately? Like, have you done anything new like in the last couple
Yeah,
years? Yep.
um, yeah, just like so right after well for everyone, the
Mm-hmm.
short is called Remnants, and the I'm guessing well they can go to your Apple Music or your Spotify or 10
Mm-hmm.
Blast to listen to the score.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a short, and we did it. We shot some of it in 2015, and then we finished in 2016.
Okay. Yep.
That's when the film festival run started
Mm-hmm.
toward midway through 2016 or at the end of 2016. And I'm just making sure everyone understands exactly. Oh, I have to tell them the story of how I actually met you, though.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah,
a great
yeah.
story.
How did that go?
I'm sorry,
How did that go? I don't remember actually.
you don't remember?
I mean, was
Oh,
it something from through Uber or something? Like what was it?
yes,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
That was like years ago before
Yeah.
we got the short, um, but yeah. So, well, let me answer your question first.
Uh huh.
So, uh, pretty successful film festival run. We ended up winning HBO film competition, if you remember.
Yep,
Uh,
I remember that. Yep.
so that was awesome. And
Mm-hmm.
at that time, I was pushing more sort of features,
Mm-hmm.
writing features, and really was setting myself up to get into the feature world, which
Mm-hmm.
obviously I still am from the studio perspective, which is
Mm-hmm.
which is a lot harder. Um, and I got opportunity to start working in TV. I got my first gig in TV afterwards
Mm-hmm.
as a writer's PA. And then
Mm-hmm.
from there, I moved up to showrunner's assistant. And well, from the first day working on TV, I was like, oh, my boss was like, hey, you want your work to be seen on screen?
Mm-hmm.
You should write for TV because you can,
Yeah.
write movies all your life and you don't actually get to see your movies on being made.
Mm-hmm.
You live successful life, I guess you can say, money wise and credit wise, but nothing gets made. So for TV, it's instant, right? You write something
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
the next
Yeah.
day, it's in the air. So I fell in love with TV just because of the way I think it's just easier to write for TV.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, a lot of people think it's the opposite. Uh, And for TV, you don't write as much as in a vacuum
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
to me. So I was like, okay, let me start gunning towards that. So the past 2 years, I've been like all my samples, I've been building up
Mm-hmm.
STV, and I'm currently looking to get staff.
Okay.
So that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much where I'm at right now. It's just at a point where, uh, you know, obviously if it's the right assistant gig, if it's like,
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
who I'll take it. But right now, it's I feel like I'm in a good space to get staff.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, what do you think? Like, I mean, I've heard from other writers that writing for TV could be because you have like, for example, if you're working on a show and all the characters they have those like specific traits to the characters, so it's easy to just use those traits and just like write an episode. But like some people told me that sometimes it could be actually more difficult because you end up like repeating the same things that happened in previous episodes, kind of.
No,
So like,
sure.
it's like you have to push the story in a way. So what, like, can you tell me like what's the biggest difference between writing for like a film and writing for like a TV episode?
No, for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, so well, first of all, I mean you're physically writing the episode yourself, or unless you're splitting the credit with someone else, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's the room's child, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's everyone's baby,
Mm-hmm.
from the outline. Depending on depending on your showrunner, you might be doing the outline yourself,
Mm-hmm.
or it might be split amongst the room. So it's just to me, it just feels like from an artist perspective, it might get frustrating because you're already in the box. So to your point,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
this is who the character is, and this is who the character has to be. So even if you
Mm-hmm.
have the greatest idea in the world, you just can't change Tony.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know midway through the season for no reason. What I'm saying, like it has to be, what the showrunner wants, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously the studio network. So artistically, I can see where someone can get frustrated and say, "Hey, this is hard because I have to follow those guidelines and I have to
Mm-hmm.
write in your voice or whatever the case may be."
Mm-hmm.
But for feature, I mean, yeah, you can get help and stuff. You can get other people. You can have a room. I mean, there's so many studios now have, well, not now, but they have rooms for feature, especially if it's like a cinematic universe.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But besides that, like if it's just like your indie darling,
Mm-hmm.
you're writing from your heart, and you're trying to get it made yourself. Like certain things is just it's you, it's your life story,
Mm-hmm.
or not your life story, but something that you specifically know. It can be your life story. So therefore, you're just giving your script out to get notes back,
Mm-hmm.
not asking for someone to be like, "Hey, can you do this part of the outline?"
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know which one is harder or whatnot. It's just more so the task at hand, because let's say, you're comedian, and comedy is your thing, half hour comedy.
Mm-hmm.
You might just be like, "Yo, this is awesome." You tell me exactly where I need to go, and I'm just filling it up on the page. It sounds
Yeah.
easier than what it is, but essentially, you're like, in a room of a lot more than one brain, pitching
Yeah. Yeah.
ideas, getting
Mm-hmm.
stuff down. So it's
Hmm.
just different styles.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I mean, in music too, because I've written some music for TV series as well, and like especially when it's when I was working on this one TV show, and I was working with another composer that wrote like the main theme, so I had to use his main theme and like kind of like use it. So it's basically it was kind of weird for me, to be honest,
Exactly.
because I wasn't really creating anything. I was just like using my like ability to write music, but like just taking his like bass theme as a foundation and just like adding stuff.
That's
It was
exactly what it is.
yeah,
That's it.
it's like it's more like technical rather than like creative, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it is. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
from so I had the privilege to stick through posts
Yeah.
on the last show well, second to last show I was on,
Mm-hmm.
and it just so happened that they had the same music composer and supervisor,
Mm-hmm.
or one of them was new,
Okay.
I believe, and it was just kind of like seeing the person adding this flair to
Mm-hmm.
certain things, right? But the thing was there already, and when he was going too far off, he was getting that call,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Kind of
Yeah.
like, hey man, I like what you did there, but this is only the second season and whatever the case may be. So
Yeah.
you said it perfectly. Like, someone they were like, hey, here's the main theme. There's not much
Yeah.
more you can do to it, but it's a gig and it flexes your muscle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
trying to get more creative
Mm-hmm.
and figure out ways to go about it. As you can tell, I was probably difficult to work with in a sense.
Oh no, no, no. You were easy to work with. I remember. Trust me.
I
Trust
was
me.
kind of like, huh?
You were very easy to work with on the film that we worked on. Yeah, you
Yeah.
were easy.
The
Trust
reason
me, I've had like really difficult people lately. Sometimes it's like yeah.
the reason why I said that is because I'm such a music head. Like I
Uh huh.
love music so much, but
Yeah.
I'm like music illiterate. So like I cannot properly describe something in
Yeah.
a music sense, right? I just know how I'm supposed to feel like.
Yeah.
So, so in my head, I'm kind of like, man, I'm telling this guy how to do something I don't even know how to do. So that's where I took it. But
Yeah. I mean, for me, like I guess in the last couple of years, like I always every time I work with a director, I kind of try to tell them now that like don't use musical terms, just use like dramatic terms. Because what happens, like some directors, producers, editors, supervisors, they try to like explain something in musical terms, but most of the time they don't know what it is, and it's like it's more confusing for me to like listen to that, and I'm like, oh, okay, so if it's like bunch of triads, I do triads, but then they're like, what the hell is this? I'm like, that's triads. They're like, not that's, so it's always better
that's so true.
for I think it's not only composers. I think it's everybody. Just like talking like dramatic terms. This is supposed to be sad. This is supposed to be like exciting. It's like it's easier for everybody to just be on the same page with like terms that everybody understands, like simple language.
No,
Yeah.
that's so true. That's so
And I
true.
feel like I remember. I mean, when we worked together, that's kind of like what you did. You know.
Yeah,
So
because
so it was good. It was
yeah,
easy.
yeah. I went in thinking that um, I needed to speak in certain terms, right? But we met,
Yeah.
so this might be a good time to talk about how we met because you say you don't
Uh huh.
remember. It was the first meeting, professional meeting we had.
Hmm.
I did bring up the fact how Nolan approached Interstellar,
Okay, I
uh,
remember that. I remember
uh,
that. Yep.
right? He
Hmm.
brought one page of the script or 5 pages or whatever. It was the scene where Matthew McConaughey's character was
Hmm.
leaving his daughter, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was just like, this is brilliant because he didn't say it was a father and son. He didn't say it was a father and daughter. It was just a father. And by the way, I don't know who Nolan is. I just read the interview or watched the interview just for
Yeah.
clarity. People are like,
Uh
oh, you know this? No, no, dude.
huh.
Go look for it.
Yeah.
And then he brought the page to Hans Zimmer, and um, and he composed it off that page. It
Yeah.
was a bass movie. He didn't know anything like that. And I remember telling you that,
Hmm.
and I think he came up with something based on, yeah, dude, you came up with something based on
Yeah.
what I
I
told you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You
I
sent me the
had
script.
pages.
Yeah, you
Did I
sent me
have
the like the 20 pages script, and I
okay.
came up with the
The
it was like
motif?
this like choirish like synthish like motif. I remember. Yeah, it ended
Yeah.
up being in the movie. It
No,
wasn't like the main theme, but it was like somewhere.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I remember I was like, okay, this is definitely a dude for the job. And it was very early. Dude, I didn't have a DP yet. It was kind of like one
Mm-hmm.
of those things where I thought this was going to be a long process.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, let me start now because I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that I'm going to get caught up meeting with DPs and ADs and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. So I was like, let me meet you. I'm gonna meet someone
Mm-hmm.
else in a couple of weeks, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. But we met so far along that you were saying me stuff way early, which
Yeah,
really
yeah.
helped me out because when I was doing rewrites, I had that in the background.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and I still have those files on my phone, by the way, which is crazy. Because when I was looking for the soundtrack, they kept popping up, and I was like, "What
Oh,
is
really?
this?" Oh, they were like, yeah, they were like rough samples and stuff.
Nice, nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I still have them somewhere too. I mean, I actually that's like one of the things that I like to do because I like well, like when I get on a project and if it's in pre-production, not in production, so people are still looking for more people. I always ask for like a rough edit of the script. It doesn't matter if it's done or not. Like I'm just gonna do like a 3 or 4 demos, you know, in like kind of like bad quality, just like fast, just to give like ideas to the director. So then like I don't know. I've heard it from so many people that it actually helps when you shoot the scenes. It helps like with timing and like the whole like little atmosphere as well, because you
No,
kind of hear it already, right?
it definitely does.
Yeah.
And as far as hustling,
Mm-hmm.
that's a great way to get someone to get the gig. Because
Yeah.
some folks might be like, oh well, it's free work, right? Because you don't
It
know,
is free work, yeah. I mean, you never know, because for me, most of the time, it never makes it into the film.
you know,
I mean, it
but
made it into Remnants, but like most of
yeah,
the time, it doesn't. But it's like it's more of a, I don't know. I have this philosophy of like, it doesn't matter how much work I do. It's more about like the you know just putting the work in. You know, like it doesn't matter. Like if it's free work, if I get paid for it, I just need to put it in, and then it's gonna go to like a good start.
that's
Yeah,
so true, man.
yeah.
Because well, first of all, I was gonna say what it
Mm-hmm.
did for me is it got something stuck in my head,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you
Yeah,
attach it to remnants. So
yeah.
now, even if I'm meeting with someone else,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not comparing it to it, but I'm just more so like, can you do something as good as that one, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah,
Yeah,
going back to what you said about putting the work,
yeah.
this summer has been very crucial for me as an artist because I realize, most of writing is just rewrites, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and I always look at the rewrites in a negative way.
Mm-hmm.
And what it's doing for me, it's kind of like I stopped telling myself, well, are people gonna see this,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I just started just writing, man. Like, and I got to a point where I'm writing every day now,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not a cliche. It's not a cool thing to say. It's actual reality that I'm actually writing every day,
Mm-hmm.
and what it's doing is kind of like, okay, well, I'm. You can see, you can tell the scenes that I'm hitting my highest potential as a writer, and you
Mm-hmm.
can see the scenes where I'm hitting my lowest potential as a writer. But
Yep.
it's better than my bad days I used to have when I used to just kind of like, okay, well, I'm not putting pen to paper
Mm-hmm.
unless I know this is going to be for remnants, like something I knew I was going to shoot, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Now
yeah.
I'm so like, oh, I have an idea about, like I wrote a short about my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't I have no intentions of anyone ever reading it, but I had to
Mm-hmm.
do it. I had to write it, a quick short, boom,
Mm-hmm.
put it to the side. You
Yep.
never know, I might come back. But what it did for me though is kind of like use words I never used, which is weird when you write
Yeah.
sometimes. Kind of
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh, I never used that word before, and I put it in there,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then it might pop up again another time, but I wholeheartedly believe what you said about putting in the work.
Mm-hmm.
Better
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's what I do too. Like even if I don't have a gig, right, I would still write music that day.
Yes,
Like, it
yes,
doesn't matter. It's just like I don't know. First of all, it's fun. You
yes.
know, it's like that's what I love doing, right? So it's like it's
Yeah,
a lot of fun, dude. Like I get excited, like if I write something, even if it's shitty to me, like, it's still fun. It's like
the fun. And, like
and then oh yeah, yeah. So it's fun, right? And then also it's like building up your kind of like that muscle. I don't know how to explain that exactly. It's like the
it,
more you write, like the easier it would be for you to get it. Like once you actually get like a big job.
yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It's. I mean, we're speaking of philosophies that's been there as old as the sun, right?
yeah, 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 yeah,
It's your 10,000 hours. It's your slide edge. It's the compound effect. It's all
yeah.
those things where repetition, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
repetition just makes you better, right? And also too, like that's what I meant by like your worst was is still going to be good because you
Yeah.
do it so much every day, and
Mm-hmm.
you know what pockets to go in.
Yep,
Like I
yep,
know when
exactly.
I need to cut out a scene, I know when I need to move on to like stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
will just come natural, and
Yeah.
yeah, so it's something that and it's fun. Like I don't know if you listen to rap. I don't know if we talked about this. If you listen to rap, I know you listen to.
I mean, I listen to some rap. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Drake has like when the lines. Well, one of Drake's line that I love so much is he said, "The moment I stop having fun with it, I'll be done with it."
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's so true. And I hope
Uh
that
huh.
never happens because I love this so much. But
Mm-hmm.
moment like I literally stop having fun with this, I will move on to something else because there's
Mm-hmm.
no point of doing this. Because for one, it's hard. The business side of it, it's super hard or complicated, I should say. And then
And
the
plus, like competitive too.
competitive, yeah,
Yeah,
and the
it's crazy
craftsmanship.
competitive. Yeah.
The
Mm-hmm.
craftsmanship is just hard. So why even like bother, doing something and you're just not gonna have fun with it.
Yeah, yeah. I had this one experience. I think it was 2018, so 2 years ago. I worked on a feature film. I'm not gonna mention names, so so I don't get in trouble for that.
It, it, it
Nope, nope. But anyway, so there's this one feature film. So they needed me to compose and produce, mix, master 75 minutes of music in like 3 weeks,
wow.
which is freaking a lot. Like I mean,
Like that's more than an album. Like
yeah,
if it's like something that has nothing to do with narrative, like let's say you're just making music for the hell of making music, that's still like that's a
yeah,
lot. That's a lot of music, and
yeah.
now you have to make it make sense.
Yeah, it has to make sense. You have to like fit the timing. You have to fit all the frame, like all the cuts, edits, and it's like, I mean, you remember how I do, right? Like every
Yeah,
like camera edit, like cut, like I always change the music somehow, do something, and god damn, like I remember like that was like such a hell of a job, because 3 weeks is like really not enough. I mean, I don't think I've ever like met anybody who said that. Yeah, 3 weeks is like easy to write 75 minutes. I mean, it's hard. So I was doing like day and night, day and night. Didn't sleep. Like I think I only slept like 2 or 3 hours a day, and I remember like in the beginning it was fine, but then in the middle I was just like, man, like what the hell am I doing? It's like, okay, I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna give up. Like I had this like weird feelings, like dude, like I'm not gonna be able to do it. Like it might as well just give up right now. Don't embarrass yourself, give up. But then I stuck through it and then finished it. And I mean, they liked it. They had like some notes at the end to change stuff, but they liked it overall. Yeah, but I remember like I was like so close to just like quit that job because I was just like, man, it's too much.
and
Yeah.
that's a and you're talking about quitting the job, not quitting.
Well, I mean,
Period.
not quitting period, but I was legit like thinking to stop composing for like a year,
Oh
like
wow.
legit, because it got into my head so much, bro. It's
Yeah.
now I'm laughing at it, but at the time I was so stressed, like I was just like wasn't sleeping or anything. I was really like cranky. I mean, as you get right, like it's just
Yeah.
it's hard to just like relax and just like do it. I mean, later on I learned it's better to actually relax and just let it be, but
Yeah.
I guess at the time it was like my fourth feature film, so it was like still like kind of like in the somewhat in the beginning, but yeah, that was just so much stress. Now like these days I'm even if I get a job that's like very tight, I mean, for some reason it's so much easier to do because I've been doing it for so long that it's just like I just use like cliche like tricks basically,
Yeah.
you know
That's so
yeah,
crazy. I do the same thing too. It's like
yeah,
if I get stuck somewhere, I just have a placeholder scene
mm-hmm,
that they can challenge,
yeah,
they can give me notes on, but at
mm-hmm,
the same time, it just fits what I'm doing.
yeah, exactly,
Then
yeah,
by the time I get the overall notes back, right,
mm-hmm,
I can just go back and change it to what I really wanted to, which I didn't have the inspiration for, or I didn't know how to do it, whatever. Because you just know what you need. Like I know how to construct a scene well enough that you just kind of like, oh, it's a cool scene. I don't know if it works, but it's just
mm-hmm,
it's resorting to some cliches, right? It's kind of
yeah,
like going back to certain things that works. Like
yeah, 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 yeah,
like for you, probably you'd be like, hey, I know that musical cue works,
yeah,
but it
yeah.
might not be the right one for that point, or it might just end up working.
I mean, I mean, my cliche like always end up working. It's just like thing is, I always try to make something new,
Okay.
and I guess like I'm hating on it. Like people like they like it, like oh my god, this works so much. But I'm thinking in my head like oh my god, like this is so overused in every like movie in the world. Like it's
That's
like the
who we are, right?
same thing that
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like I'm like that's not who I am. I gotta make something better. But then at the same time, I'm like okay, if it works, they say it works. Okay, I can move on.
That's a
Yeah.
fine line between uh, commercial and being,
And artistic, right? Like it's always a compromise. I feel.
yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
it's like one or another. You always have to compromise a little bit. Like I used to have this weird ego when I was starting up, and I always felt like when people gave me notes back, like I'm like I'm thinking like, well, in my head this is like the best piece of music, but for them it doesn't work. But like for some reason I couldn't let it go, like in the beginning of my career. And I remember this was like such a mind blowing experience when I got fired from one of the films. I remember because like I didn't want to like rewrite a track, and then it like hit me like, oh my god, like this is more of a business thing. It's not just like what I want to do.
Oh
It's also
yeah,
like because it's like a work for hire thing. They're hiring me to do this thing for
well,
them. It's
that's
it's like slave to the picture. You have to do it for them. More.
yeah,
Yeah.
but something that I think you did, which at first I was kind of like, wait, what is this?
Did I do something like that on the Remnants too?
Yeah, so what you
Yeah.
did, the EP,
Mm-hmm.
again, that's streaming everywhere. Um, Remnants by Tim Blast. Shameless plug. The EP is different than
Oh
the
yeah,
actual.
because I added the first track.
Yeah,
That's why
you
it's
got the
different.
first track, and
Yeah.
then there's a couple tweaks here and there. But if you so, what I mean by different is you made it more into an album, a
Yeah.
music
Yeah. Yeah.
body of work, as opposed to if you just pull
Mm-hmm.
the music from the
Yeah.
movie. It's the same music,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
there's a at the end of the first track, there's a part in it where I was like, you had it in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, nah, it just feels off.
Mm-hmm.
It's when it's like it just crescendos and it just goes ballistic. It's just like it was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
loud for my taste,
Uh-huh.
and it was very early on,
Mm-hmm.
and you took it out, but you put it back again somewhere
Oh,
else.
for the
It was the bike scene where they're riding the
oh, I remember. I remember. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then I was like, nah, bro, you got to take it out. And you did, and then the
Yeah.
EP came out, and you had it on there. And
Uh-huh.
then that when I say like it bumped me, I was like, wait a second, wait no, because you dropped the EP, and that was my first time listening to it, right?
Yeah.
So I
Uh-huh.
didn't like I didn't know like I didn't know what was in it. Like I just assumed it was gonna be the exact same thing.
Yeah. But
So
it's
it
a
was,
common practice, though. It's like a lot of composers do that. It's
no,
just
no,
just so it's more of an album. It's more listenable than rather than
yes,
watchable with the movie. Yeah. Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And then you added the rock element with the drums and the guitar.
Oh, but that was in the movie though. That was the credit scene.
Nah, you took
No?
it out. Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I remember I was like, oh, this guy. He was like, you know what? You don't want to put my stuff on it. I was gonna put in the EP. I laughed because I was like, because I first, like I said, bump me because my heart, I'm like, no, you, and I'm like, no, this is his own thing. This is his own thing. And I remember I told you, you own the rights to the music. Remember? I was like,
yeah.
that's part of it. I was like, yo, you own the rights to music,
Yeah.
and feel free to use it because man, the motif, you can use that different places. Like I know there's like a whole bunch of websites where you can license free music, and I guess you license it to from the artist, whatever the company. So it's like everything's paid for. Man, some of that stuff. I mean, I don't know if you're using it for other places, like with trailers, stuff like that. This is some good, like I won't say like dark. I won't say Stranger Things, but it's a lot of good coming of age music, dark coming of age music that's in there. So going back to your point, is you got your cake and well, we both got our cake and ate it too, because I got what I wanted, right, on screen, and then you were like, hey, okay, cool, I'm gonna put it out as what it is. So you were able to do the stuff that you worked on that you thought it was incredible because you put it in there. Because I remember I came over to your place, you pressed play, and I was like, wait a second, this is too much of like a musical score, or it felt too loud for that scene specifically, but it works perfectly on the EP.
Yep, there we go. It works then.
Yeah, it works. Yeah. So you got it to work. So I guess you can always do that. You can always like so
Yeah, I've done it a couple times with other stuff that I put out too. Just like add like one more extra thing that didn't make it in the movie, but like let's just put it in AP as a like a extra track. You know, why not?
So you know, Zimmer is my favorite composer,
Yep.
and he composed uh, X-Men: Dark Phoenix, and I was
Okay.
listening to the soundtrack, and
Mm-hmm.
he has a whole other album called, I think it's called like the demos or the rough drafts or whatever, and
Yep.
it's literally him experimenting. It's like the work that he put in for
Mm-hmm.
the final project. But the fact that he put both of it out and the audacity of his greatness, right? It's like
Yeah.
that's how great he is. That his rough shit is. I don't know if I can curse, but
No, you can, yeah,
it's the internet, right?
yeah, yeah.
Uh, it made it out like Warner Brothers, whoever Fox was Disney, I guess, put it out still,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
So, and I'm pretty sure some of the music in there, some
Mm-hmm.
of the music feels a little bit like, yo, this is not Dark Phoenix X-Men at all.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure he got notes, executives, or whoever. This is just
Mm-hmm.
me, just theorizing,
Speculating. Yeah. Uh-huh.
speculating. He was like, yo, I'm gonna put on my own stuff, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's the same score, but it's really not.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think, there's always room to do artsy stuff, but
Yeah.
still deliver the job.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Hans Zimmer has like a great relationship with studios usually.
Oh yeah,
I
he's
mean, most of the time this is not allowed.
okay.
Like, yeah, it's
Well,
just like
he
I.
was able to do
Uh-huh.
this now, right? As opposed
Yeah.
to back in the '90s or whatever. Even though in the '90s he still did Lion King and whatever,
Yeah.
so he was still big, but now he's
Mm-hmm.
just a legend.
Yeah. Yeah. He can do whatever they want. The hell he wants to do. I mean, the thing is, like, I was gonna ask you. So, with the TV work that you've done, so you work with a composer, right? Like, was he able to publish his score for the series? Like, was that like? Do you
No,
know anything about it? No, right?
no. I mean,
No.
um, wow, they had. I don't even know if they had soundtrack. So I don't think they have an original score out. I think they had.
Did they license music maybe, or what happened?
Yeah, it was like a lot
Yeah,
of music,
it's
and
like
then they had
license.
some
Yeah.
new music. Yeah,
Uh huh.
yeah, it was more so that way.
Yeah,
Uh,
cause like for me lately, that's what I've been like kind of like battling with my attorney. Cause so I have like 3 or 4 unreleased like feature film soundtrack albums. And the thing is, I guess in the contracts, like they own the publishing rights. So I've been trying to like contact the producers, everybody like who is involved with films, right? So like I contacted Universal, Voltage, right, and then they're basically like, well, there's no reason for us to publish it, so we're just not gonna do it. And I'm like, dude, like, some of the music is good. Like, let me just publish it on my own. It's not gonna make any money anyway.
and
It's
the
like nobody.
years came out.
Yeah, the movies came out. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, I'm grateful for the jobs, but I also kind of want to put them somewhere.
Yeah,
And in a contract, it's like almost every feature film that I did with like a major company, like Universal, Voltage. What else did I did it? And I did some with NBC, and then one film like independent film with Sony. But like all of them, they have the same thing. It's like unless you are a big composer, like they have no interest in publishing your albums, basically.
yeah. I'm
And
guessing that sounds about normal, right? Like
I mean,
as
it
far
is normal, but it's also kind of like weird. Like, why not just? I mean,
because
it's
I
not
mean,
gonna hurt anybody if you release it. Like, it's not gonna
and
spoil anything.
when I first met you, I told you that like I
Yeah.
I'm a well, I'm a music junkie, but I love film score and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And I told you about my vision about it's so crazy that there's visualizers now for contemporary music or pop
Yeah.
music or hip hop, whatever, rap,
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube, right? Which is like just a loop of an image,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Uh huh.
it's like the audio. And
Yeah.
remember, I showed you I did it for a short, or it's not really my first short, but a short I did with my friends back in 2014.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
it's like
remember. Uh huh.
you remember 3 years before, and all it was scenes from the movie that
Mm-hmm.
was put in a loop. Because I
Yeah.
was like, oh, these should be music videos for score,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
And I
Yeah.
was
Uh huh.
like, before doing the world premiere of my films, I want to have an orchestra and all that stuff, whatever. Like I was saying all this because I feel like, yes, And that's why I think movies and TV is the greatest art form, because it takes everything. It takes
Yeah,
photography.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's everything, music.
Mm-hmm.
But you can take those things out, right? And publish it uniquely to their medium.
Mm-hmm.
I went to LACMA here in LA. It's
Yeah.
a museum.
Mm-hmm.
And Roma, right? The DP, well, uh, Quran shot it.
Mm-hmm.
He had images from the movie, and they
Mm-hmm.
were beautiful black and white still photography,
Yep.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
they were all frames from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So he had like an exhibition off a movie. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
That's genius, you know. I mean, why not? Why
huh?
not? Why not, right? That's
Exactly.
genius. Yeah.
So then he had
Mm-hmm.
a book, and I'm sure a lot of directors have done that. There's so many books, like books from the movie,
Mm-hmm.
photo books, I should say. So
Yeah.
for music, I feel like, obviously there's some importance into it. Like, I mean, I have so many in my library right now
Mm-hmm.
where it's kind of like I can listen to the music by itself. I can go on a run and listen to it. Like, I mean, from Tron Legacy to Inception to the Dark Knight trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I mean, Ozark uh, soundtrack is crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so it's disheartening that it's not universally seen that way, right? Where it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of like you got paid for it already,
Mm-hmm.
you put in the work for it already. It's not
Yep.
like you're gonna remaster it, or remix it, or whatever the case may be. It's not like they're gonna lose more money,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
I mean
I mean,
lose.
it's all done already. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
already done. So all you have to do
Yeah.
is press the button. If anything, you guys are gonna get more. You guys are gonna get money. It might be
I know
like
exactly.
$5, $6, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's what it does for the artist. It means
Mm-hmm.
that, hey, you don't have to watch the movie to listen to what I do.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
right there, and you can enjoy it.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with like photography and art design, all that stuff, whatever. The person doesn't necessarily need to watch the movie to get your work. And I
Mm-hmm.
think, studios and whatnot, you should see that more often.
Yeah, I
Uh,
feel so too. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's like the old world still. You know, in like in Hollywood, like most of the studios, they don't do it just because they want people to watch the movie first. You know, or like
yeah,
to watch the movie
out
only. I
already,
guess. Yeah, I know
right?
it's out already, so it's like it's weird. I don't know. It's just I still trying to like battle all the producers. I'm like, let me release the albums because it's like I want to release them, but it's
Free
like
Tim, free Tim Blast.
I
Hashtag
know, right? Yeah, hashtag free Tim Blast. You know, release new tracks.
for sure.
But I actually, well, another shameless plug. I will have a album coming out in 5 days, 6 days. Yeah, so I have an album coming out for this film called Lucy. It's an independent film. It's like a
Nice.
thriller, supernatural. Yeah, so that's gonna be coming out. So
So
but that's like a new thing is like what I've been doing lately since I can actually do it now. Every time I get a new contract, I now add like lines that like I get to choose to publish it. You know, like the studios, yeah, they can keep the 50% of publishing. I don't care, but like I get to choose
you
if
want
the
the work
album.
out.
Yeah, yeah, because I want it out. Like it's like it always bothers me when I've done something and I want to show it to somebody, right? And it's like, yeah, put it on SoundCloud, but I can't even do that because like that's also publishing,
Yeah,
you know. So it's yeah, I don't know, weird.
the fight of the artist versus the business.
I know it's always the never-ending fight. Oh yeah, the funny thing is, I don't know if you heard about it. There is a app in South Korea. Well, they're making this app that basically will write music for any piece of video on its own. Like it's like a AI computer thing. What do you think about that? Like, what do you think if you'll have a short film or like a feature film, right? And then you'll go to this app and it's gonna like look at the video, watch it, or do whatever the hell it's doing, right? And just like write music for it.
If it works, it works, man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be that old guy ever.
Uh
Uh, there's certain things that happen, and I'm like, oh man, back in my day,
huh.
or whatever it is. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not mad at it. It's not a preference.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm not gonna be like, I want that app, whatever. But if it works,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, like if let's say we're working together,
Yeah.
and I use the app, and you're like, holy shit, this is great.
Yeah.
you know, F it, man. Let's ride with it, man. You know, so I would try it. I would at least try it, just because that just sounds crazy. That's some Blade Runner shit right there.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, it's not gonna come out until like later. I
2040.
don't know. I don't know. I'm like speculating it's gonna be like 3 to 4 years when it comes out,
Okay.
because they're already making it right now. And I have one of my friends who is also a composer is helping them. I'm like, you're traitor. They're gonna take your job away, you traitor.
That's funny. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I'm also kind of like, I'm all for technology, I guess, but I'm like, I'm a little worried now. I'm like, oh my god, what if this thing is gonna be like the best like master composer in the world, and it's just gonna take everybody's.
You can take that human heart away, man.
Yeah, I know, probably not. Yeah, yeah.
No.
But you know how, you know, like in Photoshop or Premiere, right? Like you can, like color correct. You know, there is like apps that auto color correct,
Yeah.
and those work fine, right? Unless you have a specific preference on
Yeah.
like a
It's
color.
like I think they work fine with
Yeah.
quick
So that's like my analogy to that thing. It's just like
yeah.
it's already there, you know.
Yeah. So to your point, the reason why I said I would try it is
Mm-hmm.
because it'll be so new. Why not try it?
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
second half will be like, you know, going back to a colorist thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're pretty much filters at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because they're just like you just put it in there,
Mm-hmm.
and for quick stuff it works, and some other stuff it might not work. So, for example, if I walked in, like I shot a music video for Chosen, by the way. So,
Really?
yeah, Chosen was
Ooh.
one of the actors for the short we worked on,
Okay.
and so I shot a music video for him, and
Uh huh.
if I walk into to the editing lab or
Yeah.
editing suite, whatever,
Ed in Bay. Yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
he showed it to me, the editor showed it to me, and I'm gonna say his name, but I don't think he would have done that.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy, and he was like, "Oh, do you like this?" And it worked. I didn't know that he used a thing, whatever.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, okay, you know.
Yeah.
But if it was bad, then you know he had to go in there and do what he needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Then by all means, then you know he's cheating the process. He doesn't know exactly what he needs to do. So I
Yeah.
can see both ways. It's the same with the music stuff, right? If the score is good, it's just not good for the short or whatever the
Mm-hmm.
video.
Yeah.
How do you tell the app to tweak it? How many options do you have to tweak it, right? It might be
Yeah. I
like
guess. I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
if it's course like, oh, move it a little bit darker, make it a little lighter, and stuff. Like it's just certain things you can't do, and all you wanted is just me telling the person to take that one note out. You
Yeah.
can't do that.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
That's right.
So that's what I mean by like, yeah, it might be a quick thing to do, but
Mm-hmm.
you guys are not going anywhere, man. We need live
I know. Yeah.
live stuff.
Uh,
So.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know we're not going anywhere. Yeah. I have proud of being a composer. Okay. I'm not going anywhere. I'll stand my ground. I'll put like chains around my chair. I'll do the protest, you know, with other composers. Like we're not going anywhere.
That's funny.
You know, the composers' jobs matter. All that
Right,
stuff.
exactly.
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah. Talking about COVID-19, has anything changed in your life since the pandemic started, or no?
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, Hollywood. Uh, you know, I feel like Hollywood is just now figuring out how they want to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say people haven't been moving forward. It's just more
Yeah.
so there's status quo to anything. So it's like the wild wild west in the sense of like what is working, what's not working.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of people got laid off. I mean, it's just like so like everything bad you can think of as far as like work wise happened,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? But I mean, what I always tell people is, you know, like for me, like you know, well, I am an immigrant, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you know, my journey is different from someone that was born and raised here,
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
uh, and you know, and we have to make it this far. Let's go back
Mm-hmm.
in the past, like um, we had to survive Jim Crow,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like there's certain things that happen in history where people were still able to feed their family or build a business and stuff like that. Great
Mm-hmm.
Depression, people survive slavery. Like there's so many things where and I'm using extreme cases just
Yeah, yeah.
because not to downsize COVID, it's just
Mm-hmm.
to make us realize this is reality
Yeah, yeah.
and how to move forward. So I've taken the opportunity to write the most I've ever written in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to set up coffee meetings and general meetings because it's
Mm-hmm.
easier to hop on a 30-minute call as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to if we're gonna go eat sushi in West Hollywood,
Yeah, yeah.
where getting ready and then get in the car and it's like well, that
Mm-hmm.
person's busy, that person can't, the executive can't meet you and stuff like that. So I'm just using it to my advantage, even though it is a tragic thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a very tragic thing. So
Yeah.
uh yeah, from the beginning, I knew that it was going to last long, or
Yeah.
I knew it was going to change forever. So I already went ahead and told myself, shit will change, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Yeah.
my life will change, will be affected. The best
Mm-hmm.
thing I can do is be open and
Mm-hmm.
to move forward, right? Like open as in like, okay, this is a new thing. Well,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
might be rooms and Zoom now, right? Writers rooms.
Yep.
So
That's what's been happening, yeah.
that's totally different. And it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like once things work like that, do
Mm-hmm.
you go back to in the room? I mean, chemistry wise, yes, but if the studio's saving so much money, it's
Mm-hmm.
like, do you even do it? Do you not do, you know what I'm saying? It's like so many things where I don't know. So yes, has it affected? Yeah, it's affected me with everyone. I mean, people are dying. So
Mm-hmm.
just that alone, and people are like, oh, it's only this amount of people only, or whatever. It's one too many. Like no one should
Mm-hmm.
be dying off
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a disease or anything like
Yeah.
that. Even though it's
Exactly.
a natural part of life, but
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, it's affected me, but honestly, I'm treating it as just part of life, man. To be honest with you, it's just
Yeah.
it's what it is, and you know,
Yeah,
move forward.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. That's my philosophy as well. Like when it all started, I kind of knew that I have to like move forward with my things. So yeah, so I've started a podcast. I'm live streaming more now. You know, I have like, I feel like I have much more time because yeah, like before, like I used to spend like half of my day going to meetings. You know, trying to like set up meetings, trying to like do these certain things where I have to like drive somewhere. But now it's like it's all Zoom, right?
Yeah.
So it's all
So
like I have a camera set up right here. It's always ready to go. You know, it's just like it saves time. It's easy. It saves money. You know, you don't have to
that
do
30
much.
minute that 30-minute lunch or that
Mm-hmm.
30-minute window in the executive calendar,
Mm-hmm.
right, becomes
Yeah.
30 minutes for real. When it's
Yeah.
like, you can't meet with Al because you need to go from Century City back
Mm-hmm.
to the studio, Warner Brothers lot. So there's no way you can meet with this guy Al. But now it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, oh, I don't have to go anywhere. I'm in my house. I
Yeah.
do have somewhere to be in 30 minutes or
Mm-hmm.
another call to jump in. I can give this kid 20 minutes or 15 minutes, and then
Yeah.
that's where it happens. But talking about craftsmanship, you pick up new stuff, right? So with
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
it's not like I knew that I needed to just write, man, like just write. Crazy because I just finished writing my first. Well, it's not my first short since Remnants,
Oh, okay.
but
Okay.
it's my
Yeah.
first short that I actually want to film.
Oh, nice.
Remnants, yeah. So, uh, and that just came about where going back to what we talked about earlier in the conversation, I was writing so much that I was able to jump from one thing to another and
Mm-hmm.
finish it and then come back because I'm just doing it every day. So going back to what we were saying about just kind of like working just to work.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's always good to work just to work. I mean, it's a good practice. Yeah.
It's fun.
So, I mean, you know, I'm excited. You know, short film, count me in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Let you know.
know?
Definitely. It's like I was like, I didn't even think about because it's so early
Yeah.
that I don't know. But this one obviously we'll talk more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Also, okay, so I've been working, right, on well, basically I've been working on my solo album for like the
Okay.
last like 10 years.
Is that's one that's coming out in 5 days?
No, 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 that's a film score.
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah.
It's 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 good, but it's like my
Dude,
solo
I'm
album basically where
giving
I'm
you
gonna
promo right now.
what's up?
I'm giving you promo. I was
Yeah.
just
So,
asking to give you promo.
oh, okay, okay. I'm like, yeah, yeah. So that the film score for Lucy's coming out on 29th. Okay, so 6 days. All right. Anyway, so I'm working on my solo album, which is gonna be kind of like where I'm gonna be like playing guitar, singing, drums, all that stuff. So it's gonna be like kind of like a chill, ambient, like not exactly pop, but not exactly rock, not exactly rap. It's like mix of everything, right? And I'm probably gonna be done with it. I don't know, like sometime next year,
Yeah.
because I have to like I still have to. It's like a big project. There's gonna be orchestras and stuff, so I'm hiring orchestra to do that. So it's like a lot of I guess bureaucracy. It's like a lot of like going back and forth with people.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I'm thinking to make a couple music videos. So if you're interested to
Oh,
be a director for that,
yes.
you're
Yes.
yeah,
Yes, bro. Yes, 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 yes.
yeah.
Again, that's just you know, my mind works in a narrative way as
Yeah.
opposed to narrative. But and not to say obviously music videos can be narrative as well, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's just that like it's so much less stressful, man.
Yeah, because you already
Like
have the audio set up. Like you don't have to worry about it,
you have
right?
all this. I mean,
Yeah.
like I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what Obviously, I have to come up with a treatment, all that stuff, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But man, like it's a lot of B-roll. It's just like you're just shooting cool stuff, cool
Yeah.
shots here and there, and you just
Mhm.
piece it together. And it's
Yep.
like it doesn't have to make sense the day of. It's just that the post has to be, whoever's editing has to be dope.
Yep.
And yeah, and next thing you know, you have a whole body, of work as opposed to narrative where it's kind of like what does this shot mean? What's
Yeah.
the what's the underlying, what's the subtext, what's this, what's that? And it's kind of like, oh man,
Mhm.
this shot that took us like a whole day to do doesn't even
Yeah.
actually work. So then we need reshoot and stuff like that. B-roll, it's kind of like she looks up, she looks down,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's like it's very like
Yeah.
just of the moment. So yeah,
Yeah.
man, I'll be super down for that.
All right. Cool. 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 That sounds good. What's your favorite music video of all time, if you have one?
Oh, come on, man. Oh no, I'm a music video junkie though.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. I mean, I have so many. Like,
Uh, There's so many, man. I mean,
well, like think of one. Like what comes to your
Jay Z
mind?
money, Jay Z money, and a thing. That's like one of like earliest memories of music videos. 1998 or
Mm-hmm.
1998, yeah. Or
Yeah.
it might 99 it came out, but Big
Yeah.
Pimpin' sure.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Z again.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of like Fuji's Ready or Not.
Okay.
Uh, like I was obviously a child.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing those videos and be like, holy crap, like they spent money on this.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Like that was because with Fuji's, they were in a submarine. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, how did you do that? There's so many
Yeah.
videos now. There's a video that came out that I always refer to. Lastly, Falling Short. I think you would like that song too. She's British
All
singer.
right. I'm gonna write it down real quick. What is it? Lastly.
Lastly, I can look at my phone.
Okay. Okay.
LAP. Let me see. Um,
Fallen in shirt. You said.
Falling Short.
Oh, fallen shirt. Okay.
Yeah,
Fallen
so it's
shirt.
LAPSLEY.
Okay. Got you. All right. Perfect. I'll watch it later.
Now,
Yeah.
2015, Falling Short.
Mm-hmm.
So beautiful. Every time I need to get inspired, I'll
Mm-hmm.
watch that video. So actually, I'll go and put that in my top five videos ever for me
Mm-hmm.
personally,
Okay.
right? Because it's like one of those things where it gets me going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I wish I did that. I wish I made that video. So
Yeah.
and then I'll watch it and I'll go do something that has nothing to do with it. It just gets me feeling like uh, an artist. It makes
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
going to a museum. I think you'll like it too. It's crazy. I
Yeah,
think
I'll definitely check it out. Like I've been checking out Childish Gambino's videos, and
yeah, yeah,
those are great. Like from like the
yeah,
filmmaking standpoint,
yeah.
like
Have,
it's
have you
fantastic.
ever watched Saturdays?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's so good.
It's like a short, right?
Yeah, it is exactly. It's like or like Lady Gaga like does her little weird shorts, and it's
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like a little movie. Yeah, it's awesome. I like those kind of music videos.
There's so many good
Yeah.
music videos. I'm trying to think of other ones that's recent. Um, that's like that. It has a short. and it yeah, I can't think of anything right now. But so,
Yeah,
like
I
I
know. There's
watch,
so many.
yeah, so
Yeah.
many.
Uh-huh.
Uh, oh, I mean, I'm not keep talking about Jay-Z, but
Yeah.
uh, Moonlight was pretty good too. I mean, so many videos.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
started going off. It was, yeah, so it is, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of great music videos. It's so funny how like being a director, you can actually do so many different things. You don't have to stick to film. You can do like documentaries, TV, music videos, and it's
Yeah,
all it's all different, but it's all kind of like the same job. But it's obviously it's all different worlds.
so different, and
Yeah.
I want to do all of them.
Yep.
Uh,
Exactly. Same thing for me. Like I'm doing music for everything: games, TV, trailers. Yeah.
every single. I mean, I don't know if I'll get into animation. To be
Mm-hmm.
honest with you, just because I just don't have the desire to do it, or actually, I should say, I've never been exposed to that world to
Yeah.
know how would you direct a soundtrack. I mean, soundtrack anime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Animation. Yeah.
but commercials, uh, Super Bowl halftime show to
Yeah.
Grammys
Yeah.
to
Concerts and stuff. Yeah.
concert,
Yeah.
documentary, stage. I don't know. Like, I mean, well, I guess I directed a stage play before,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, man. I mean, just freaking commercial directors are making bank, and they're traveling. I mean, they're
Yeah.
going to past and freaking filming like just a car commercial, and then going home. I mean, that's no stress. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Boom shot here and there and stuff like that. And I'm
Yep.
obviously saying it because I have never done it before, right? So I'm just kind of like, this is easy,
Yeah.
but it's like not like you don't need a script coordinator. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. It's
uh,
easier. It's easier to make like this little 30-second commercial.
yeah,
Yeah. It's
even
it's
it
it's
might
like
take a whole day, but it's
yeah.
just that it's not like what does this shot mean? Even though
Yeah.
it is like that, but it's really not.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not. Yeah.
Like
It's a quicker contained thing. Yeah. I was gonna say so for composers, right? Like when we're done with the film, well, usually with feature films, because short films they don't really get released as much. So we get royalties, right?
okay.
Do I know producers get royalties as well. Like how is it with directors? Do you ever like from TV series and stuff? Do you get royalties from that or no?
I'm not sure. I'm not
You're not
sure
sure.
actually. That's a good question.
Yeah, because
I'm
like I like
guessing so. It
I've
makes
spoken to some people, right? But some people say like yeah, you do on like the bigger projects, but you have to set it in a contract. It has to be like a certain like thing, unless like if you don't put that in a contract, you're not gonna get any. But for composers, it's like an automatic thing. Like if you worked on a film, you get royalties. You
rotation.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I imagine so, right? I mean, unless it's like a streamer like Netflix where there's no syndication.
No, yes,
I'm
actually, Netflix. I'm like I'll be honest. Like my last royalty check, because a couple of my films are on Netflix and on Amazon Prime. Since everybody is at home on their ass watching movies, like the royalties are so much bigger.
let me
Yeah,
ask,
because
were
yeah,
they Netflix movies though?
yep, Netflix movies. Yeah.
So they were Netflix studio
Oh
movies.
no no no! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah yeah. So Netflix
Okay,
licenses those movies
you
and
got
yeah.
so from what I've been told,
Uh huh.
because there's no reruns with Netflix. So if it's a Netflix project, and again,
Okay.
we're probably in the comments like you got it all wrong. Like I'm just speaking from what I remember
Yeah yeah.
hearing
Uh huh.
is that there's no you don't get residuals and stuff. But
So there's no syndication with Netflix, like Netflix made stuff
yeah,
by
what would
Netflix.
it go? Think about it. It's
No,
just
but it's still oh yeah, shit.
exactly. It's Netflix. It just
Okay.
never goes anywhere, right? Think about it,
No, but like,
and it's forever.
subscribers they pay for it, right?
Yeah, but that's how Netflix get their. But subscribers are paying
Huh.
for the whole library.
But it ugh.
Think about it. It's like Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime is just super rich because it's Amazon. So
Yeah.
they're not looking at it from like, okay, this show. I mean, obviously they're looking at numbers, but it's
Yeah, yeah.
not like the traditional box office because their box office is billions. So, still, regardless if this movie flops or not, it's just continuous billions and billions. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, now I gotta check my sources now just to see.
Hey man,
Yeah.
I don't know exactly, but
Yeah.
for regular TV, I imagine so. that you will get residuals and stuff because I mean writers do.
Yeah.
So
Well, I know, right? Because you have the guild, like, composers, we have a guild.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
DGA. I mean directors do with DGA. So
Yeah. But I'm always gets confused. I always get confused because, like, what's actors, they don't get royalties. Or
I think they do. Yeah, they do.
but like,
They,
if you think about it, like,
they for
I
sure
was
like commercials and stuff. They do.
yeah, from commercials. Okay, so like I look at my royalties check, and sometimes I'm thinking, oh my god, like this is so big. Like I wonder how much the producers get. I wonder how much like that. It's like who's making money off of it. Like it's
John do lunch.
what?
John do lunch next week on you. Talking about your royalty checks. Don't be telling people your business online. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know who's watching. The RS is like, oh, really, Tim?
Well, I mean, it's all in the W-9 or whatever. So whatever royalties I get, IRS know about it. Okay, it's not cash. I wish it was cash.
Some cousin from overseas is like, oh, making that type of money, huh? WhatsApp you right now.
I have a couple relatives. They know who you are, and like when I became a composer, for some reason, some of my family, they thought that I'm like a millionaire now. Just because like I work in Hollywood, writing music for like independent films.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I had to like break the truth. I'm like, nah.
Even if I wouldn't tell you.
Yeah,
I'll help you out, but I wouldn't tell you.
I know, right? Yeah.
But go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, yeah. So like I was. What was I talking about?
You were saying,
So I was bragging about royalties. Let me see.
Oh, you were saying comparing. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Comparing to before
Yeah.
COVID hit, like my royalty checks were okay, but like after COVID, like they almost doubled, from like Netflix and Amazon and Hulu, like where the movies are. Where I think one of them is still there. Like one of them, two of those feature films. One was on. Okay, so a Mermaid's Tale is on Netflix right now. 11 Days horror film was on Amazon. And then there was a film called Paparazzi with talking dogs and stuff.
Oh wow!
It's a kids film. Yeah, it was both on Hulu and Amazon. I think it's still on Hulu right now. But anyway, it's like it's kind of funny to always see those royalty things because they don't say how many people watched the films, but it just says like the amount and like that's it.
Yeah,
and I'm always so like interested to see like the numbers, just to.
Yeah,
compare.
I was about to say, do you really care though? Do you care about the dollar sign though?
No, I care about.
But
I actually don't. I don't care about the dollar sign for some reason, but I care more about the numbers. I don't know why. Like it's not like I care about it. It's not like I'm like psychotic about it. Like I gotta know the numbers.
You're just interested.
Yeah, I'm interested. It's more of a professional curiosity. Like how many people actually watch the film? How many people listen to score in the film?
That's true.
Just a professional curiosity. Yeah.
That's the artist in you. You just
yeah.
You created something and you want to know. You want the world, right? You want to know.
Mm-hmm.
You created it. You put it out to the world. You want to know how many people grab or gravitated towards your work. I respect
that. Yeah. All right, let's see. I think it's a good time to wrap it up, huh? What do you think?
Yeah. So before you gotta tell the story.
Okay, tell the story. Yes. Yes. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so this is 2013 or 14.
Yeah.
2014, 13, I believe.
Uh-huh.
And 2013. I'm here for a PA gig. I'm in LA for a PA gig. At that time, I was still living in New York.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And I'm in town for a PA gig. And a friend that was crashing at my place, right? Or I think he was crashing at my place at the time, or he crashed that night. He came home drunk as fuck, and he had your card. He was like, "Yo, I just composed it, or whatever." And he's my Uber. He was my Uber driver.
Yeah.
I took it, and I actually put it like in the cup or whatever it is. Yeah. And I always told myself that once I pick up something, whatever, I'll just go through my cards and trying to get people that way, right? Because people were passing out cards at that time still.
Yeah.
Years passed, and this is 2015, right? And I'm literally like asking friends who compose their stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I might have put up a Mandy uh,
Oh, the
job
Mandy.com.
posting.
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, like this. I don't know if Mandy's still around, Mandy.com. And I was getting feedback, some people, and I said, oh, you know what'd be crazy is if I meet up with that person. I remember exactly what it was. This is 2 years later. I
Yeah.
go in the drawer, I still find it,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I called you or texted you first. No, I emailed you. I
I
think,
think so. Yeah, I think you emailed me first. Yeah.
and I was like, yo, I had no faith this is gonna work either, right? Because
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna be a long process,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, let me knock it out. Let me just have you first, and then I'll just keep going. And hopefully by that point, I can have a producer that will, get me people, and I
Yeah.
just get the music. I don't have to meet with the person individually, whatever. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we met up. Super chill, super cool person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, we just kicked it off. We got along real well, and
Yeah.
even then, it took us a while because the film wasn't done until 2016, so we
Yeah.
just stayed in touch. I
Mm-hmm.
think I sent you scenes, maybe here
I
and there
think.
when we were shooting.
Yeah, yeah. You were like sending me like little 15-second scenes. I remember. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
but
short
yeah,
little. Yeah, yeah.
but once we locked in to get it done,
Mm-hmm.
obviously the picture was locked. Uh, yeah, it was just super efficient.
Yeah.
Um, I was, I thought maybe I was being like a little too hard with, but you said it
No,
went.
you were easy. Yeah, you were really easy. Trust me.
And
Yeah.
obviously you welcome me to your space and stuff like that too. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it all came from an Uber ride from a
Yeah.
friend that was drunk as hell, and I don't know what that conversation entailed for you to
Yeah.
pass that card. And then
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, because I used to drive for Uber, like, yeah, like 2013. Yeah, like that's. I wasn't even a composer. I just had a website, and I had like one or two demos, like very crappy demos. I remember.
So, and this
Yeah.
is where timing is so key in the
Yeah.
universe. If I had to reach out to you then,
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't be the same thing because I reach out to you 2 years later where you probably had your craft down packed.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 2 years
Right?
later, I already had. I think I already had like one feature film in a pocket. Like I had like 5 shorts in the pocket. Like it was
Yeah.
already good. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I was
that's
still
crazy.
having. I was still doing other jobs, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I
But
was still
I'm
able
saying,
to do.
like, let's say I was shooting 2013, you probably wouldn't be the right person for that job.
Probably not. Yeah, that would be a very crappy score with like I had a very big ego at the time, so
Right?
I couldn't take a no for an answer. I was just like, I'm a musician, I know what I'm doing. I was like that stupid, young and stupid, And yeah, so it probably would have been a completely different thing. You would probably tell me like, hey, you know what, Tim Blast, you're not blast enough for me, so.
Hey
Yeah.
man, uh, like the most famous producers, hip hop. Well, not most famous, but most
Yeah.
producers in hip hop now has a name tag.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get you a name tag, bro.
What do you
Um,
mean name tag?
so producers are like Metro Boomin, who's a producer. His
Okay.
name tag is, well, he has a lot.
Uh-huh.
Metro on the beat. Metro Boomin wants some mo.
Oh, okay.
Metro trust you. I'm gonna shoot you.
Yeah.
And then there's like Mike Will made it. There's Earthwormers, which
Yeah.
is his company. Mike Will. I probably said it wrong. And there's so many different ones. There's like Jetson made another one. It's like it's just a name tag
Yeah.
where you know who made the beat or the instruments, whatever. Southside. I mean, so many.
Yeah,
Take
yeah.
Heat fucking these up. There's so many name tags. So for your album, it'd be really cool because your pen name's Tim Blast.
Yeah.
So it'd be like I'm sure there's something there. And usually it's like a girl or it can be a kid that
Mhm.
says it, right? Something like Blast made this one or whatever. So
All right.
I'll send you examples and you'll see what
Okay. All right. Cool,
I'm
cool,
You're
cool.
looking at me like, what? Nah.
No,
Yeah,
I'm excited to see those. Yeah. That'll be fun.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah, 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 yeah. All right. Well, I feel like it's a good time to wrap it up. It was a lot
Yeah,
of fun talking, man. It was nice
thank
to
you.
catch up. It's
Right.
it feels like we never left off. Like since we didn't talk for what, like 2 years, or like a year maybe,
Yeah, probably
something like
more
that.
than that,
Yeah.
actually. Because we're in
Yeah.
2020 now. So 3 maybe?
Maybe 3, yeah. And it
Yeah.
feels like it was all yesterday now. Like everything is
Yeah.
like coming back. Yeah.
That's
That's how it works. Yeah.
that's what it's meant, it's meant to be. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. I will post this on YouTube. Probably not right away, like in about a week maybe. Because I
okay.
still have to post like my other one that I just did a couple days
Oh,
ago.
wait,
And I try to like,
this is the interview though. This is like your money maker, million, 10 million views, right? This is gonna be your biggest interview, right?
of course, yeah, this is going to be everybody will see it 3 times. So we'll have like what, like 30 billion views. This is
It's gonna
right.
break
Yeah.
all sorts of records.
Yeah, it's going to break all the records. Yeah.
I mean, appreciate it.
Exactly.
Thanks for asking me, and I know it took a while for us to, because I think you asked me before the pandemic, or was it
No, no,
after?
no, 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 no. I think it was after. Yeah, because I haven't started this.
Okay.
My first one was in June 28th, so it's only been like a month
Oh,
and a
okay.
half. Yeah, and I kind of been doing them like on and
That's
off,
good,
sort of.
and
Yeah,
that way you can drop them off. You can release them as you
every
please.
week. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, exactly.
And obviously you have different seasons. But yeah, man, like,
Hmm.
thank you for having me. Definitely want to see where it goes. Keep it going.
Yep.
And obviously,
Thanks.
when I have more to share, I'll definitely ask you to. Hopefully, we can be in the studio together.
Yep.
But yeah, keep going, bro, because I definitely want to see, interviewing other people and stuff like that too. So this
Yeah.
is cool.
Thank you. Thank you. We should. I just idea popped in my head. We should do like a react video to Remnants.
Yeah.
You know?
Not yet though. How about
Not
this?
yet. Okay.
I gotta do another one. I gotta do another one first.
Okay.
I do
All
another
right.
short first, and then we can do that. Yeah,
Okay.
but that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I asked Chosen Jacobs. I asked
Oh
him if
yeah.
he could do.
Yeah. He
Uh,
he was the one in balloon
it
thing. It yeah. So
yeah
okay. He was in one of the young boys in it. Well, he's a
yeah
young man now, right? He's like 15,
19 no
19.
19, yeah,
God damn, bro.
crazy. Yeah, and
Wow.
I'll send you the music video too. It's called
Okay.
Funk
Yeah.
Back. Chosen
Yeah.
Jacobs.
So everybody, look up Chosen.
Yeah.
Chosen Jacobs. Yeah. All right.
So when I ask him, because I think it would be really really interesting, because we've
Yeah.
all evolved since, so
Yeah. So all of us can come up in my studio. I'll put like multiple cameras, and we'll make it all professional.
for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Okay.
I'll let you
Thank
go
you.
now. Thank you again for coming over. I'll let you know when I post it on YouTube. Everybody, check out Al Plancher and all of his work, please. All right.
Yeah. Well, I'm not really on social media, but it's well, I have.
They will find you.
They'll find me
They'll
at
find you. Yeah.
yeah, it's at Al Plancher. So it's at Al_Plancher. Plancher. I'm sure you'll have it on the
Yeah. I'll put it in
caption.
the description and caption. Yeah. I'll edit the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
all right,
All right. Well,
man.